QB Club. Let's get in it. Time to get in the club. Super Trooper Jimmy G and Brian. Possibly the worst quarterback tree assembled in recent Raider memory. Although we have seen some bad ones. I ain't gonna lie. Been some fucking trees with no branches. Quarterback trees are so bad. The news comes out after the GM, the head coach are fired, offensive coordinator fired. Jimmy G is going to the bench. And he had a horrible performance last game. I mean, horrible. Epically bad. So it's hard to make any argument for him. And the only argument I had for Jimmy Garoppolo is because Jimmy Garoppolo was handpicked by Josh McDaniels to be plugged into this offense as a plug-and-play guy because he knows the offense. That's also the only reason Brian Hoyer was brought in. So that's really the ace in both of these guys' hands that they had, was that they're supposed to be the guys that understand this complex, complicated fucking offense, that you're supposed to be a fucking quarterback neurosurgeon to be able to understand. That's the big ace in the hand of both of these guys, the feather in their hat that you were leaning on. Now, they both proved to play like shit on their own at different times in the offense that they're supposed to know. Now, that offense is gone. They're scrapping that offense. They're going to completely dumb it down, probably come in with a more basic style offense, a la what you've seen Chicago do against the Raiders. A dink and dunk, do screens, work more on the power run game. And I think that's what you're going to get with Aiden O'Connell. I think they're going to play to his strengths and not shove him in. What they did in the game that he started was they shoved him in with the same system that he's been trying to learn and expected him to have it. They did not tweak the system for him. They did not simplify anything. They did not play to his strengths. They did not play to his inexperience. They said, here's what you're supposed to know. Let's see what you can do with it. That's setting the kid up for failure. And I am not backing off on the statement that the kid was not fucking ready to go in and try to even remotely run Josh McDaniels' offense with Josh McDaniels up his ass, handcuffing him, not allowing them to audible, change plays, or do any of that. The kid was set up for failure, and I 150% believe that. Now, that's gone. Josh McDaniels is gone, your offensive coordinator is gone, all of that is gone, and they're wanting to come in with a completely different mindset. So now you got to look at everything. You got to take those glasses off and throw them bitches away that you've been looking at everything through for the whole season. I do too. And now we have to look at everything completely differently because the parameters of everything have changed. They're benching Jimmy G because with what they're getting ready to go forward doing, he's not going to be good with what they need to do. Brian Hoyer, we know what Brian Hoyer is. Brian Hoyer's a scab, and he's always been a scab. He is a backup quarterback that's supposed to get you over a hump if your starter goes down. And that's all he's supposed to be. And he's come in and failed at that this season. It's time to see what Aiden can do in a simplified, basic offense, and I think that's what you're going to see this week. You are coming in the next 2 weeks with the Giants and the Jets in very winnable games at home, and you can go run heavy, power run game. I think you're going to see a lot of screens. I think you're going to see a lot of dinks and dunks. I don't think they're going to ask this kid to do a lot. He doesn't move his legs. He doesn't stretch the field like that. He's not that type of quarterback. So I think he's going to be more of a pocket passer. And I think they're going to work with that a little more and stay within what he can do. Now, I will say that there are some quarterbacks in this league who don't work well with super complex playbooks and systems and that are just very basic and just need to go out there and play fucking football. And if you just let them go out there and play football, a little schoolyard style, they're super successful. And some have even been in the Hall of Fame doing that. So maybe he needs a little bit of the reins taken off of him. Maybe he needs the ability to call some plays at the line, to be able to make some checks, to be able to do things that Josh McDaniels doesn't allow. Maybe dumbing it down for the kid and playing to his inexperience might be the positive thing. But the offense, somebody just said it. You beat me to it, Robert. Offensive line, he's got to block for this kid. You got to block for this kid because you've seen what happened when the fire got to him early in the first half. Last game, there was 3 fumbles, and he was pissing down his leg. You've got to let him get his legs under him. You've got to let him get some confidence. You can't let him get assaulted the first couple plays. So let's see what Aiden can do, man. Let's see what Aiden can do. It's his team. Right here, this is the opportunity every quarterback in the league wants. Clog situation there. Easy. This is the situation that every quarterback in the NFL is waiting for. When you're just given the reins to say, all right, you're the guy. Go ahead. Because it's one game at a time in the National Football League. It's one game at a time. Because if he goes out there and it is an absolute fucking train wreck, you're just like, ooh, we can't do that again. I don't think we can do that again. You know? And there's a possibility it could be that bad. I doubt it. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think they're gonna dial it back for this kid. And I think you're gonna see a heavy dose of Josh. But there's that possibility that you can go out there and he has a positive game. Maybe it's not the most stellar game, but you can work from that and you can build from that. And you go forward. It's a 1 week at a time conversation in the National Football League. Basically, when you get it at this type of a situation, you're getting it at a crossroads of the team. So this is a very positive situation. What every quarterback in the league wants. You're given the reins with a chance to go out there, prove yourself, and keep yourself on the field. All you gotta do is keep yourself on the field for the next week. You out there perform well enough this week that they want to put you on the field next week. You've won. Then you go for the next week. You got to play a little better, and you got to keep yourself on the field again. Keep yourself on the field again. You do that every week the rest of this season. Have a good offseason. Fuck, all of a sudden you're in the conversation for the fucking backup quarterback, or maybe you're even fighting for the conversation of starting quarterback next season with whoever they've brought in. Jimmy Garoppolo is on a 3-year deal, so he's going to be around for a minute, or they're going to have to deal him. And can you deal Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, what's he really worth at this point? You know, what are you going to trade him for? Fucking, you know, a spool of twine and a fucking piece of cheese? I'll give you a slice of government cheese and some twine for Jimmy G. Throw in some Toadlet and he's yours. All right, done. I mean, what are you going to get for that guy? His stock has done nothing. Plummet this season. Absolutely plummet. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. They can release him, but you want to get something out of him. He's a commodity. That's why you signed him to the 3-year deal. Getting nothing out of him is just bad business. I mean, you're wanting to get something back out of him. So it's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be an interesting week, Raider Nation. The press conferences are already more exciting. The first one was great to watch. I look forward to more. It's gonna be an interesting season because I mean the fact of the matter is the quarterback situation of this team is at a low that it hasn't been in a decade, and I don't. We'll see what the kid can do the rest of the season with a very vanilla, basic-ass playbook, but I still am very doubtful in the positive outcome for Aiden O'Connell. I just, in my heart, I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I think we're being, as a fan base, I think we're being a little desperate, looking at the end of the bench for the next fucking great quarterback. I just think we're being desperate. Next year, you got to address your franchise quarterback. He was never supposed to even be in the conversation for that. And because you fucked up with the head coach, the GM, bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo was a big fucking mistake. Brian Hoyer's been a mistake. And because they've made all of these horrific mistakes, you're left with Super Trooper standing over in the corner like, I guess it's my turn. I'll be the savior.